Right, the RLCS major in Rotterdam is almost upon us. Have a little look at this in order to get hyped. Now, I like a game of Rocket League with my friends every now and again, but I know nothing about the esport. Luckily, we have many people here at Jinx that do, including Cole. Emile Cole, you are with us today. Thank you so much for joining us so you can tell me what I need to know.
No worries. Thanks for having me on. Good to be here on the Daily Portal. Good to chat with you, Matt. You're looking fabulous in your... what material is that you're wearing? That's
velvet.
Lovely.
It's velvet.
Ooh,
I do not look after it. The RCS major in Rotterdam on 8th to 11th of December. Explain for the viewers who may not know too much about Rocket League esports, what is the major going to be? How do the teams get there, and how it's all going to work?
So basically, a couple of seasons ago in the RLCS, the Rocket League Championship Series, we introduced this worldwide sort of major system, which is 3 majors in the season and then worlds, and you get points for everything you do, right? So it's like season-long point accumulation. This is the first of those majors of this season. So there's going to be a crowd there on the Saturday and Sunday. It's in Rotterdam. Everyone's flying over to the Netherlands. It's going to be fantastic, and it's just the first offline event so far this season.
Oh, that's super exciting. So there are, I believe, 32 teams from various regions.
16 teams.
16 teams. I knew I'd get that wrong. So how did the teams have qualified through the season? Who are we looking out for? Who are the major players? Who are the major teams do we think we should be looking out for?
Yeah, so there's a couple of teams that are most likely to win this one. Traditionally in Rocket League, North America and Europe are the two sort of best regions, but there are emerging regions which are coming through. Everyone is always interested to see how the Middle Eastern teams do. So Team Falcons over in the Middle East, they actually lost their first event ever as a team over in their regionals, but they won the second 2. So they've made it here as the Middle East's sort of entrance. But then in North America, there is Gen.G, which is an interesting story because Gen.G are 2 players that are English and then 1 American. Apparently, Jack and Nolly, they flew over, moved to Canada in the off-season, picked up a bubble player called Chronic, and now they're North America's top team. They finished second, first over there. And in EU, a team called Carmine Corp. And if you've got any French people watching Daily Portal right now, I'm sure they're going, woo, Carmine Corp, because they're a massive org in France. And they did the same thing as Gen.G. They came second in 2 and won 1 of the 3 events to qualify for this.
Right, I see. And I was looking through the list of team names. Who on earth are James Cheese?
I thought you'd ask about James Cheese. So I was talking about, I don't blame you at all. They are unsurprisingly an unsigned team. But they come over to here from APAC. And again, there are a couple of players who have moved over. So Virtuoso is Irish-Polish, and he moved over to APAC, as did Kami from Australia. And now they play in the APAC region with a player called Realize, who is pretty much the most famous Japanese player in the world. Kami's New Zealand rather than Australian. But yeah, from the OCE region over to APAC. So they've basically moved over there, obliterated all the teams they came up against, but they're doing a lot of good work for that region because playing against better teams, they'll improve. But right now, it's James's Cheese's turn on the big stage, as it were.
It is a great name. And also, don't confuse Australian and New Zealanders. They do not like that.
I know, sorry.
It's like English and Irish. There's like, no, we are very different cultures and histories. And so, who are you tipping? Who are you thinking is going to be the major player? Who do you think, will be in that final?
So it's an interesting question. Obviously, I don't just want to mention Gen.G and Carmine Corp again because that'd be quite boring. So I'm going to do a bit of a punt with Team Liquid, who are a team that in the last EU regional, they won it, Chronic, Oski and Atau. And they basically play weird Rocket League. Most teams are relatively balanced between defense and attack, and there's rotation, so all players do something on the pitch. Instead of having a perma defender, you go forward, then you come back, more like ice hockey. Team Liquid are just always on the attack. They don't give anything about the way traditional Rocket League is played. They're chaotic, they're exciting. So they'd be my outside bet. Similar in America would be FaZe Clan, who aren't quite as attacking, but they've got a player called First Killer. He is the player to watch. If you've never seen Rocket League be played, check out FaZe Clan, check out First Killer. He will score amazing, beautiful goals. And normally they end up getting to the semi-finals or so.
Awesome. I'll be looking forward to seeing that Team Liquid on the attack. That sounds exactly like my thing. It's like Canada at the World Cup a couple of days ago. Absolutely fantastic.
Except they score more.
Yes, except they might actually score a goal. It's a real shame. And so you're obviously going over there to do some work as one of the casters. Are you excited? And what are you going to be doing while you're over there?
Ooh, so very excited. It is in the Netherlands, so the less said about what we're doing over there, the better. I jest, of course. It is always exciting when the Rocket League community comes together because there are so many passionate fans that just love meeting up. It's very much still a sort of ground up esport in the sort of like from the ground built up, in the sense that if you go up to any player, any caster, anyone, they will love to chat to anybody that they see there. There's always lines of queues for signatures and meetups and things like that. So it's a real community spirit at the RLCS. So if you can come along, if you're in the Netherlands, please do. It'd be great to see you.
The crowds there are absolutely amazing. Like whenever I see it, it's one of the best crowds. Like Chants are some of the most impressive I've ever seen. They always seem to have new ones coming out. It's a really cool vibe. I mean, like, yeah, as you say, I'd recommend anyone getting over there if they can, if they're nearby, pick up some tickets. And so how does this tie in more generally to the sort of the whole season? So this is the first major, and I believe there's two more?
2 more after this, and then there are Worlds, So in each of the online regionals, there are 3 of those, and then you qualify for the major if you get enough points. Each regional gives you 16 points if you win it, and then second is 12, etc., all the way down. If you win this one, you get 32 points. So essentially, anything you do in the major is worth double any of the regionals. So it's a massive chance to really pull away and give yourself the biggest chance to make Worlds in 8 months or whenever it is. A long way in the future, but those points matter for then.
And a little bit of money as well on the side doesn't hurt.
And that too, $100,000 for the winning team, which I would not say no to myself.
Well, look, one more quick question. Should you watch this or the World Cup in December?
Oh, the World Cup. I kid, of course. No, watch this. Actually, that's one of the funny things. The World Cup is going to be playing on the same day as some of the Rocket League. So my eyes are going to be going in 2 different directions. But of course, when I'm there casting the Rocket League, that's all I'll care about.
You'll have to wonder if the Dutch are in playing one of those days. It's going to be a rather big party town in Rotterdam that day. So.
Yeah, well, there are 2 Dutch players that have made it for Oxygen as well. So they'll have some support there, definitely.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, Cole, thank you so much. We're out of time, but thank you for informing me. I feel like I've learned a lot over the last few minutes.
Thank you very much, Matt. See you later, everybody.
Take care, guys. Thank you.